Right, the text that I'm looking at today is called Idiomatalogia, Anglo Latina, a nice mouthful there. English to Latin idioms, and this is a school textbook written in the 1600s to help English students convert idiomatic English into Latin. And this is a problem that stumps even many modern Latin teachers in the classroom, who forget that you need to look at the meaning of a sentence and not the actual words in it in order to translate it from one language to another, because a translation isn't a word-for-word conversion, but it's a conversion of the meaning of the communication of a sentence. So here's the first little section about the word abate. The word abate means to reduce or make a deduction. So I cannot abate a penny of this, I cannot reduce a penny of this. Nummis abesse hinc non potest. That's from Plautus. Nummis abesse hinc non potest. To somewhat reduce the whole amount of money. Remittere aliquid de summa, or remittere aliquid de capite, or remittere aliquid ex pecunia. These are from Cicero and Boethius and a few other people. It was demanded that the cavalry should have their pay reduced or abated. So postulatum fuit, ut de stipendio equitum aera de merendur. To reduce something of his right. Paululum de jure so de cedere. Paululum de jure so de cedere. I'm not complaining about the reduction in taxes. Non queror diminutionem vectigalium. Again, non queror diminutionem vectigalium. There is a chapter that concerns the abatement of cities' charges, the reduction of cities' charges. Caput est quod pertinet ad minuendos sumptus civitatum. His illness, or his sickness, began to abate. Levior morbus esse caepit. Levior morbus esse caepit. Without any deduction. Si nulla deductione, or without any abatement. The word deduction actually is quite modern, and it comes into English from the Latin, of course. Si nulla deductione. To abide, or in the more modern usage, to stand. So he cannot abide me, we would say nowadays, he cannot stand me. Ille aversissimo a me animo est. So, ille aversissimo me animo est. I'll say it again. Ille aversissimo a me animo est. She cannot stand that soldier. She cannot abide that soldier. Istum militem odit. Istum militem odit. That's from Plautus. The one before was from Cicero. I could not stand him, or I could not abide him. Oderam hominem. That's Cicero. Oderam hominem. He could not stand to do any work, or he was lazy. Impatiens laboris erat. Impatiens laboris erat. That's Ovid. He cannot stand the sight of him. Illum in oculis fert. Illum in oculis fert. I'm not able to stay in the house. Durare nequeo in aedibus. Durare nequeo in aedibus. He couldn't stand that, or he couldn't abide that in the older English. Pati non potuit. Pati non potuit. No man was able to stand the sight of him. Nemo possit hunc perpeti. Nemo possit hunc perpeti. That's from Terence. He was not able to tolerate such cruel wonders. Tam saeva miracula non tulit. Tam saeva miracula non tulit. That's Marshall. I cannot stand to be around. Non possum adesse. Non possum adesse. I can't stand to do it. Aegre est mihi facere. Aegre est mihi facere. If you keep the first condition, primam se conditionem sustinueris. I will never stand it. Non patiar, or non feram, or non sinam. He cannot stand a wife, or the idea of wives. Abhorret a re uxoria. He cannot stand talk of marrying. Abhorret a ducenda uxore. That's Cicero. The father cannot stand the son. Odio parenti filius est. I see they can stand none of us. In visos omnes non esse illis sentio. I will last, or I will endure, firmum et stabile illud permansurumst. Nobody can stand him. Terrae odium ambulat. He is homeless. Homo incerti laris. He won't stand to be beaten again. Non committeret unqua iterum ut vapulet. I cannot stand to see you so pretty. Delicias tuas ferre non possum. That's Boethius. Delicias tuas ferre non possum. So these are the first two entries in this book. It's got 662 pages. You can find it on Google Books. It's called Idiomatalogia Anglo Latina. And the problem, of course, is that the English in this book is in black letter. That is the old Gothic script. And of course the English itself is rather antiquated. So before you can even use the text, you have to translate the English from 17th century, or it's actually 16th century English. It's quite old, it's about Shakespearean time, into modern English. And then you have to compare that with the Latin, which has, of course, seems much more modern than the corresponding English in the text. It's a very useful little book for people interested in colloquial usage of Latin.